Hi, this is Bill Eater, General Manager of Kunes Buick GMC here in Greenfield. It's time for another Kunes Car Convo, and today we're with Ryan Peterson from Speedy Petey. He's got a whole bunch of stuff going on, but the main thing we're talking about is the Outlaw Stick Shift Challenge today. We're driving in a brand new 2024 AT4X with the 6.2 V8. You'll probably hear it rumble. Thing's amazing. Hi guys. So Ryan, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming in. And we do these completely impromptu, unscripted, because it's more fun for me that way. Try not to hit one of my guys as we roll out. So you have tons of stuff going on. I want to get into all of that. This is the main thing we're talking about today, which is the Outlaw Stick Shift Challenge. So that one on social media so far has been getting tons of traction. And I've had a ton of people come up to me like, oh, you guys are sponsoring that? Like, I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, well, it'll be a good event. We got people traveling from all over the place. We got people coming from Texas, people coming from Louisiana, Florida, North Carolina, I mean, all over the place. And it's really the top, I would say, 32 cars in the whole United States that are coming.
Oh, dang. Yeah.
So right now we're almost full. We'll probably be full by the end of this week. And it's the first time it's ever come to Great Lakes. So.
Oh, really?
We've never done one here before. We've never really had the opportunity to. But we got 2 cars from Wisconsin now, myself and Nick Coleman, that are in the top 10. So we kind of gained some, I would say, respect out of the stick shift world.
I would agree.
And that allowed us to put on this event. So we reached out to everyone, and everyone seemed interested. Reached out to you guys and got a sponsor to get the money to a point where it's worth everyone's travel time.
Yeah.
So everyone's excited about that. We're racing for $15,000.
So
it's a good chunk of money.
I'd be excited for that too.
Yeah.
You know, I love racing. I went to Union Grove, gosh, the first time I had to be 12, 14 years old. So one of my good buddies and his dad used to drag race back in the 60s and 70s.
Okay.
Build cars, stuff like that.
I hear tons of stories about that from family and friends, all that. My family's not huge into drag racing. I'm the oddball out. But it's cool to hear those stories, and I've been going since I was 16. I started with pieces of crap and kind of.
So you've been driving yourself since you were 16?
I've been
that's awesome.
Going there since I was 16 and kind of just got faster and faster. And the level we race at now was never my intention, but it's definitely fun.
So the stick shift challenge. So I mean, these are the I don't know, in my opinion, like that's the best of the best drivers, because you're not just hanging on. Everybody talented when they're running those speeds.
Absolutely.
You know, but what kind of times are you running with that thing?
So the top 10 is pretty much all 6-second quarter mile passes now. I think it's the top 8 is, and I believe I'm number 8. I don't know if that's changed recently. But yeah, the top 10 is pretty much all 6-second passes, 200 plus miles an hour. H pattern just kind of it's fun to watch. There's a big variable there, and there's a lot of things that could go either wrong, go well. There's a lot of things that everyone does differently. There's not one way to go down the track, and it just makes it fun. So we're always a crowd favorite when we go to big events, and it draws a good crowd.
When you're still getting 6-second quarter miles.
Yeah.
So think about that. If you guys are watching, like, think about that. In a quarter mile, not a mile, not a half, a quarter mile. 0 to 200 miles an hour. I mean,
I believe the fastest, I'm probably going to get this slightly wrong, is 222, 223 in a quarter mile.
Dang.
I think that is Joel Groun's currently. But everyone in the top, like I said, top 8 is 200 plus. My fastest is 212. I believe Nick Coleman's been about 219, maybe faster. I could be wrong there. I don't have everyone's stats in my head, but it's impressive. I never expected, when I built my car, I was building it to go 760s. That was the world record when I started building my car. And we've had to just evolve and get faster because everyone else is.
You're a full second ahead of that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I run 6.9s. That's still my fastest so far. We're going faster this year for sure, though.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's been a wild ride. But to bring that to Great Lakes, they've never had anyone do this type of an event there. We're partnering with the Wisconsin Outlaw Series, which is a very fast class as well. So there'll be other cars running there as well. So there'll be 3 classes for that event, and then there's a nitrous streetcar brawl. So
Those are fun, too.
It's gonna be a big event.
Those are fun too. A buddy of mine had a Boss Hoss bike.
Okay.
You know, the full Corvette motor inside a Harley
Yeah.
frame, basically. And he put nitrous on that.
That's gotta be great.
And I'm like, why? But so yeah, I've been around speed all my life, and less now. Like when this light ever turns green, we're gonna go 0 to like 40 in a quarter mile if we're lucky.
Yeah.
You know, this thing has some cool exhaust, but not quite the same.
824s are nice.
Yeah, and this is the X, so we could go off-road if we wanted. But I don't know what it'd do on a drag strip. You know, I remember, you know, we all grew up with crotch rockets when I was a kid, you know, so early 90s, not to age myself, but early 90s, and, you know, those would do a 12 to 13 second quarter mile, and you're doing 110 to 120,
Oh yeah.
and you think you're absolutely flying, and then you know, just think about you literally going through the gears and still hitting 200.
Yeah, it's somewhat smooth. It's smoother than people would think if you are set up right, you got your timing cuts right, or if you use a strain gauge. There's a lot of different things you could do to make that smoother.
Yeah.
But it takes a toll on the transmission, that's for sure.
Oh yeah.
We're, you know, 15, 20 passes, we got to rebuild the transmission.
Wow.
So it just depends on. I do things a little differently because I have an IRS car.
Okay.
So I put a lot more strain on my driveline.
And the IRS means what?
Independent rear suspension.
Okay.
So most people are a solid axle.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So we're working with what we got because I don't want to have to redo the whole frame and cage and all that.
Oh,
But it takes a toll on it.
yeah.
So I got a ZR1 as well. My ZR1's my street car, and that's a fun car to drive, but it's a whole different level.
Oh yeah.
Whole different level of car.
Yeah.
So
So how many, you know, under 6 seconds, how many gears you get in trip?
4 gears.
4
Yep.
gears, less than 7 seconds.
Yep.
Yeah.
5th and 6th are deleted in our cars. So technically it was a 6-speed.
Okay.
But we take them out for, you know, weight savings.
Yeah, makes sense. Wow. Sorry, forgive my pause. I'm trying to actually picture all that as the G-force is knocking you back in your seat.
Yeah.
You know, I think probably the fastest 0 to 60 car I've been in, and I almost hate to say it, but is a Tesla Plaid.
And those throw you back.
And it was like 3 seconds 0 to 60, and you're 6 seconds, 6.5 seconds, 6.9, 0 to 200.
Yeah. I don't know what I mean, we can do trying to think what some of my recent time slips are. I mean, to go 60 feet, we're running like 1.1 seconds to go 60 feet. It's a little different than 0 to 60, but we're somewhere around 160 in the quarter mile. So, or sorry, in the 8th mile.
Yeah.
So it picks up pretty quick.
Oh yeah. I suppose once you get like rolling, like, okay, here we go. All right, there was 39 miles an hour. Woo!
Sounds good though.
It does sound cool.
Yeah. There's a 6.2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. So what engine do you have in yours?
So we've had a few. The first 2 that we had were actually sponsored by you guys.
Yep.
We ran a GM LSX. Last year we switched over to a Dart block just because we exceeded the power levels of a GM block.
Okay.
So it's a little stronger.
Yep.
And now this year we are running a Billet Noonan block. So
Oh.
it is the best of the best that we can get in our class.
Dang.
So it's proven to be really well so far. We've had one outing with it. It runs real good, real smooth. It's just mainly for reliability.
Yeah, makes sense. And so if you're rebuilding a transmission every however many runs, would you say 15?
Yeah,
15 to
we
20.
probably push it longer than we should, probably 20.
How about the engine? Do you have to keep tweaking that, or rings, or seals? Or...
Yeah, so we have a spare engine at all times just because of the level we raised.
Yeah.
I would say we're 60 to 80 passes, we're going to refresh an engine.
Okay.
And that's nothing crazy. We run aluminum rods, so we have to replace those pretty often.
Yep.
You know, rod bearings, stuff like that. We check that after every single event. So
Makes sense.
refreshing it, we don't do it. We send them out. We use Bullet Racing engines.
Okay.
He's been awesome, part of our program.
Okay.
He's out of St. Louis, so he's not the closest, but with us having a trucking company, it's not that big of a deal.
That does help. That does
So we
help.
just send a truck down there and pick up something on the way back.
So it's kind of a perfect segue. Like, I know you have a bunch of stuff going on,
Mm-hmm.
and then to still be able to do this is almost like a hobby, but fun. And
but it's no longer a hobby if you're top 10 in the country.
It's
You know what I mean?
turning into a slight business. It's definitely not a profitable business, but it's a business.
Yeah. So why don't you tell us about the rest of your stuff?
Yeah, we pretty much do everything with a truck. That's what I tell people. We do dumpster rentals. We do dry van deliveries all across the Midwest. Deliver parts for you guys.
Yep.
We deliver parts to you guys all in the Illinois region. Towing operation, do some inflatable rentals is the one oddball thing we do without a truck.
Well, how do you get the inflatables there?
We do have to put those in trucks.
With the truck.
So, yeah, anything with a truck we pretty much do, and it's just been a ripple effect. We find a hole in the market, and we just have a really good team. Our management team is an A team, is what I would call it, and they allow me to go racing.
That's
So
awesome.
they can handle it when I'm gone, and right now I'm very involved in the towing operation, but I kind of pick and choose where I need to happen to be at the time, and
Yeah.
I focus on those times. So
Well, you got one up to Eau Claire area for us.
Yeah,
In
that
like
was-
a 2-minute phone call, so that's just a blessing.
that's what we're good at, dropping what we're doing and having someone available. If we don't have someone, I do it.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big deal, you know, because especially if somebody needs a tow truck and they got to call like 47 places and
Yeah.
they don't have it or they don't have a big enough truck or, we'll get you in 4 days.
I mean, we kind of have one of everything. We got a heavy duty, medium duty, light duty, service truck. We kind of have a little bit of everything. So we are very universal, and that's where we've been successful. There's good days and bad days. I was just telling you before this. It's been a little bit of a rough day, but
Yep.
that's part of business.
Yeah, we can take a little drive and things
Yeah.
get better for 20 minutes.
There you go. A little disconnect.
Yeah, we had, one of the mentors I've had in this business, obviously Greg McKinnis, the owner, has been amazing, like a second dad. He's awesome. Him and Dennis Kramer, who was his right hand for years and years, retired. He passed away a couple years ago. Love the guy, but it's always people and processes.
Mm-hmm.
If you have the right processes in place, then the right people to follow through with them, I mean, you can do really good things.
Absolutely. Yeah, I got, I'd say about 5 people that I would say are all equally valuable assets and just good people.
Yeah.
And without them, we wouldn't have been able to grow the way we did. So,
Exactly.
business relationships and just relationships in general are how you grow business. It's
Absolutely.
word of mouth. That's what I tell everyone. Sometimes it's luck, sometimes it's word of mouth, sometimes it's luck, and then you need to know what to do with that luck.
Well, that's true too.
So,
But yeah, I agree 100% with relationships. It's like people want to say, well, today's age, it's all computers, it's all internet, it's all that. Now, a lot of times it's that face, it's the handshake, it's
absolutely.
knowing that person's on the other end that's going to take care of it.
I was a customer of your dealership for probably 10 years. I built that relationship with the wholesale department through
Oh, yeah.
businesses I had.
Yep.
And that's how I eventually got to start doing deliveries for you guys
Oh, yeah.
and helping you guys out with tows and all that. So
Yeah.
it's just a true statement of how you can get business just from those valuable relationships.
Exactly. So in the racing community, this is a little bit of a construction area
Yeah.
here. Didn't kill anybody. That's good. And the racing community, I'm assuming it's the same thing. So as you're coming up, you already mentioned one of the other guys from Wisconsin. So I'm
Yep.
assuming you guys talk or communicate.
Yep, so he actually was a huge part in building my car.
Okay.
So he had a huge part in that. There's been a lot of hands in that car, so it's not just one person, but he was a big part of that. I have another friend we race with. His name's Dan Straley. He's a local guy that we race with. He's not in the stick shift world, but he's in the racing world.
Yeah.
He's my truck mechanic,
Oh, wow.
and I met him through racing. So he's our truck mechanic. He's a mobile mechanic, works for himself, but he dedicates time to us every week. So there's been multiple ways. I got another customer of mine that I've met racing that I bought 6 trucks for him for my business since that.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, the racing community is like a whole different world that no one understands.
I totally get it.
And everyone will take their shirt off their back for you.
Yeah.
Anywhere, at the track, traveling, you break down, someone will make a post on Facebook, and there's someone in the racing community close willing to help you.
Absolutely.
And it's
Yeah.
unbelievable. And my wife even says that it's a whole nother world that people don't understand.
It's like the old-fashioned type, right? It's like what you hope people are still going to be
Mhm.
like. I grew up in farm communities, and it's still like that. One farmer breaks down, the other one's there to help.
Mhm.
You got 800 acres, somebody's got 200. There doesn't matter. They're coming to help you.
Yep, one hand washes another. It'll come back
Exactly.
around.
my buddy Ron, same guy with the Boss Hoss, he raced stock cars up at the Dells for a long time.
Okay.
You know, built some old 1980, 78, 80, 82 Crown Vics.
Okay. Crown Vic.
And just did those around that little circle. It was a blast.
Yeah.
You know, people would always help. And one of the times, unfortunately, got clipped and then flipped like end over end like this along the fence. But like the whole community was just right there.
Yeah.
You know, and luckily you guys wear lots of harnesses, and safety equipment, so he was fine. But yeah, just that little bit, I've been around that, and I grew up with a little bit going to some of the motocross races and watching people behind the scenes help each other out that way. It's just
I got
totally
stories and stories and stories about that. I mean, at the track even this year, there's been situations like that. I mean, I broke second gear, and everyone in the stick shift class came over and said, "What do you need? How are you going to make next round?"
yeah.
And we did. We made next round, and then we made that next pass. That was my world record pass.
Oh damn.
So
That's awesome.
it's cool to see that, and everyone wants you to do well.
Right.
It's competition. They want to win. But they want to win fairly. That's the biggest thing. You don't get that in a lot of events.
No.
There's not a lot of other classes out there where they want to win fairly.
Right.
So,
I think that's the best part of racing, you know, and stuff like that. Like, yeah, I want to beat you, but I want to beat you at your best.
Yep.
You know,
Absolutely.
it's like, obviously Kunes we have a lot of dealerships. You know, we have 44, including all the RVs, and we'll probably have more. And do I want to have my store at that top? Well, of course I do, but fairly.
Yep.
You know, do it the right way, build it the right way. So
I mean, and you guys work with your other stores very closely.
Oh, yeah.
And I've noticed that just recently. I've been doing store transfers for you, moving stuff around, and it's good to see because you don't see that a lot anymore.
Yeah. All right, so the one thing we really wanted to talk about before we finished up, besides all these beautiful Ultimates, was the dates and times for the Stick Shift Challenge. So why don't you...
Yeah, so the main event is Saturday, August 10th. Starts at 10 a.m.
So if it starts at 10...
It'll probably go to 11 p.m.
oh, wow.
But so Saturday there'll be 2 rounds of qualifying, and then the event starts. So I would guess that main racing will be noon on.
Okay.
Like I said, there is 3 other classes that are running that day, so there'll be pretty much action the whole time.
So somebody's diehard race fan, get there before 10, set up, get ready, get your seat, and just...
If you get there at 10, you'll be good. If you get there at 10, you're good. It will be busy. We have thousands of people that are saying they're going to show up.
Yep.
So I would expect some lines. But yeah, if you can get there when they open, get some spots. There'll be tons of food there, all kinds of stuff like that. If you can't get there Saturday, Friday will be another good day. It won't be as jam-packed. But there'll be 2 rounds of qualifying as well as testing all day on Friday for the stick shift class. No other class will be doing qualifying on Friday, just the stick shift class. Like I said earlier, a lot more variables that can go wrong, a lot more things that we need 4 qualifiers. We do every event with usually around 4, if not more qualifiers, so I'm trying to stick to that so it's uniform across all the events we go to.
Yeah, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And after the camera went off, you were telling me that there's, a few hundred cars that are all running in the mid-7s or under.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, I don't have the exact numbers, but there's a list. There's a page called Stick Shift Elite on Facebook that has literally every single stick shift car that has ran an impressive time on there. I believe this list is 100 plus.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So it's something to check out if you're interested in that, but that's a good page to keep up with stick shift in general, of everything that's going on.
So, and if you're watching this and you're like, hey, I've never been to a drag race, if they're really starting and you're like, hey, what time should I go? It sounds like you want to get there just before noon for sure.
Yeah, you'll see action all the way, like I said, all the way till 10, 11 o'clock at night. With the weather we've been having around here, I'd get there as soon as you can, but
yeah, that's a good point.
There's bleachers, you don't need chairs or anything, there's tons of seating, tons of parking. I don't believe it's crazy to get in. I don't know the price, but it's nothing outrageous. And food and everything's very reasonable there, so it's not like you're going to a ball game and beers are $9. That's not the case here.
Right. That's the cool thing about racing too is, as long as you're not at some giant NASCAR event, which are awesome, but all these things are really affordable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, your whole family can go, you can really enjoy it. you got young kids, you might want to bring earplugs or earmuffs.
Absolutely. My daughter will be there with her earmuffs on.
Yep.
So
How old's your
definitely
daughter?
recommend that. She's for this event she'll be 2.
2. Oh,
Just turned
awesome.
2. Yeah.
So yeah, all ages welcome.
It will be loud, so definitely bring earplugs.
Bring earplugs, yeah. I remember the first time I went to the Milwaukee Mile and with Kunes, and we got to go inside, and they're like, "Oh, you want some earplugs or something?" I'm like, "No, I've been around racing all my life. You know, I'm good. I'm like, "Well, you're going into turn 2,
You're right there.
and you better get some earplugs." So of course, after the first lap, I went and found some earplugs.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I have earplugs for even when my car's running and we're in the pits.
Yeah.
It's loud. So
You were telling me something cool that I know I want to just end with. When you're running, when you're on the track, you were saying that you don't get to look out your front window.
no, so my car is pretty much dangling the front wheels the whole time.
Yeah.
So if I can look out the front, I am, but I'm also looking out side to side, not only for the competitor, but I'm looking at the wall and everything because if my front wheels are on the ground, I have no sense of steering.
Yeah.
So it's really a strategic game of suspension tuning, and I have an awesome team that does that. So Jake and Aaron take care of the car pretty much head front to back every single pass. So we wheelie, there's not much visibility there.
So guys, you want to come see this. You know, you want to come watch this. You got his car, you got all these other ones, but just to watch a car in one wheel going down 200 miles an hour, under 7 seconds, all the stuff he can do, I can't wait to see it. So August 10th starts at 10. Great Lakes Dragway, Union Grove, Wisconsin. Easy to see. There'll be some other links there and stuff, but come out and see it. Ryan, thanks so much.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You betcha.